All right, guys, today we're going to take a look at the control panel. This is the bottom control panel. We're going to go ahead and start by looking at this big control panel that says Go Power on it. You'll see right now it says 100%. One thing to note is that this is for your solar panels. And all the solar panel settings are perfect. We do not need to touch them. Go ahead and just ignore this one. Next to the solar panel, we have a little dial. This is also for the solar panels. It's currently on. Important to know that you also do not need to touch this dial. Everything that is got you set up for camping is perfect. So you can also ignore this one. Up above it, this is your most important control panel down here. We'll just go through each button, and one thing I do want to point out that all the lights run off of solar panel, campsite hookup, as well as generator. When you see that these buttons are all flush down here, and this last one on the bottom, this means they're all off. We're going to start at the top, and we're going to look at the patio light. So this is your outdoor rope light underneath the awning. I'm going to turn it on and we can kind of zoom in so you can see which one it is. And then right now it's off. Okay, so next we're going to look at the other outside light. This next light is labeled the cap light. So this is the compartment, the storage and bed above the driver and the passenger. And it's a fun little light that you can turn on while you're having a bonfire outside. It's just a really cool light. You want to be sure, of course, you turn it off before you go to bed. And next, third down, is your entry light. The fun thing about the entry light is something to note is that when you're coming home and it's dark outside and you need instant lights, maybe you forgot your flashlight, you can stand in the door and just count the third down. It's in the off position now, but when we turn it on, it's going to light up all the ceiling lights. So instant lighting, it's so helpful if you forgot your flashlight, just the third one down. So now we're going to switch it back to the off, and we're going to look at the comp light. This is your storage compartment. So we'll turn it in the on position. And what this does, it's going to light up your storage compartment in the back, the big storage compartment and the small one. So what you're gonna note is that there are no lights on out there, so you'll always need to turn them on here. So we're gonna turn it back to the off mode, and we're gonna look at the awning. So this big button is for the awning. So you're gonna push it up if you want to extend it. You're gonna push it down if you want to retract it. One thing we do want to point out is that when you're pulling out the awning for the first time, you're not gonna really know where to stop it. So we do want to highlight that while you're extending it, you're gonna look for this little white flap. And when you see that sticker come out, that white sticker, and the seam for the flap, that tells you when to stop. You do not want to go any further. If you go any further, the repairs might be expensive. But one thing to also note is that when it's windy out at all, you'll want to be sure that you hit the retract button to pull it in. Of course, before you drive away, you'll want to fully retract it as well. But if there's any wind, this thing will be flapping around a lot. You'll hear it. You'll want to retract it. Now we're going to look at the last button. The last button will already be, right now it's in the off mode. It'll already be on when you get your camper all set to go. So you can go ahead and just leave this on the whole trip. You can drive with it on. You have food that is expensive in that fridge. You want to be sure it's kept cold. So leave it on and check it throughout your trip just to make sure nobody's accidentally flipped it off.